Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Happy November. So for today's video I'm going to be ranking all of the eyeshadow palettes that I tried in the month of October. I have got 9 eyeshadow palettes to rank today, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel before leaving today. There's just so many beautiful palettes in front of me. This ranking was a little difficult. I'm going to start off with this one. One of my beautiful friends sent me this palette. This is the Bad Witch Club from Give Me Glow Cosmetics, and I'm actually decluttering this one. It stains my eyes and it kind of irritates them in a way because I have such sensitive eyes and these pigments are super strong. So just not for me, but I could definitely appreciate the color story, the packaging. I mean, it's beautiful nonetheless. So coming in at number 8, this one is from Fantasy Cosmetica. This is the Warlock palette, and this one was actually sent to me. This color story is so beautiful. The quality is really nice in here, but I will say I kind of struggled a bit, just a little bit with the mattes whenever I started creating multiple looks. Obviously, I could get a really pretty green look effortless, or just like, you know, more like this mustard shade. That's fine, but whenever I started layering on this raspberry shade and like this dark blue, it just, I don't know, I'm like a very beginner level blender when it comes to mattes, so I just struggled a bit, not gonna lie. The shimmers in here are very beautiful. It's just not my go-to color story, and it really challenged me a little bit, I will say. Coming in at number 7, this is probably going to be a huge surprise, but I just feel like I use the other palettes so much that it just seemed fair. That's kind of something I do with this ranking. I try to rank it based off how often I use it as well. This is the new Danessa Myricks Beauty Lightwork palette, the I Am. Every year she comes out with like a holiday palette full of special shades. These are beautiful, but I broke my rule. I bought a palette full of shimmers, and that's something that I have made a rule for myself, so I'm trying to going in the future. I know I don't reach for palettes like these. I'm not buying them. So for me, this quality, it's beautiful. These are beautiful toppers up here. These are intense multi-chromes, and some of these are just like traditional metallics with some like chrome flakes in here. The formulation's beautiful, the color story is really cool, but even though it's a pretty palette, I need to be realistic with myself. I'm not reaching for blues. Like, I'd never use this super intense green, and even some of these shades are super shifty. So, and I don't even really like the chrome formula. It's super chunky on my lids, so that formulation's not for me. But it's a lovely palette, but I'm like, Brittany, why did I buy a palette full of shimmer shades when I don't reach for shimmer palettes? So this is falling a little lower because there are no mattes in here and I didn't use it as often. But if you're just curious on the formula, A+, this is just something, it was kind of a learning lesson for me. I made just like a special exception because I was like, I'll reach for it. Yes, I do love this, but at the end of the day, some of these multi-chromes, they are beautiful, but do I wear these shades? No, not necessarily. I don't. Coming in at number 6, this is from Cosmic Brushes. This is the Gothic palette. The packaging, it's so beautiful. And on the inside, it's a Gothic, vampy, Halloweeny palette. I really enjoyed the quality of this. It stained my eyes a few times, but the color story is lovely. You'll know Cosmic Brushes, they have an awesome shimmer formula, and the mattes always build on each other. They layer almost effortless, like you don't even, it just blends itself out in a way. And these shades are pretty deep, but yeah, I didn't have trouble with them. So this is just a color story I'm not going to reach for all the time, but I do love how versatile this is. You can get everyday looks with some of these, or you could go super deep, obviously, but I do like the versatility, and I like how depth, like it goes super light to super deep in here, so I like that aspect. So it's a really nice palette. It's just not one I'm going to reach for all the time, but I personally wanted this because I wanted a vampy palette I could just reach for and get a super intense sexy look, if you will. So yes, I think this is also kind of like year-round, fall, Halloweeny. I would say you could wear this in the spring. You know, you could just wear it year-round because of those different shades in here. Let's see. Coming in at number 5, this is the Nomad Air Travel Palette. This one was sent to me. I mean, it's a beautiful basic brown palette, and I love it. Y'all know I love these shades. The formula is amazing. This formulation here, as far as the shimmers go, it's the same as Ghost Town, so I just wanted to let you know, A+ with these shimmers. And yeah, I mean, obviously I've used this a ton this month because these are just my shades, so definitely if you're looking for a travel friendly palette or a mini compact palette and you are a neutral lover, it's nice. What can I say? I thought that collection was super, super cute from them. The packaging is very minimalistic, but I mean, it's still fun. Just not like my favorite, like blue, you know what I mean? Not my favorite shade of blue. This one is Wicked Widow Beauty Graveyard Smash. I actually won this palette in a giveaway. Very, very grateful for that. Sorry, I had like some little flakes in here. I think this palette is so pretty. The formula, A+. I love the color story. It's so fun. And it was such a cute Halloween launch. So, yeah, the formulation of this brand keeps surprising me. I have 2 palettes from them, and I love both of them so, so much. This one I will get more use out of versus Tea Time, but I've gone into this shade. I was actually struggling to create this in a look, and then finally I was like, just do it, and I did it, and I absolutely love how this shade kind of meshed with the other. So yeah, I really do like the color story. I love the greens, and this mustard shade in here is like my go-to whenever I reach for this palette. So yeah, I think that they just have an awesome formula, and so far 2 for 2. I really do like that. Number 3, this is the Mirage palette from Alter Ego. I think the packaging is lovely. This one was sent to me, and this is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Empowered palette, and I must say that the quality, it's very lovely. Their shimmers are more like traditional, but still they pack a punch. The mattes in here are, I mean, you would, if you tried this and you didn't know it was a dupe palette, you would have thought like, okay, this is a high-end formula. So I really like what they have going on. And yeah, I've been reaching for this so, so much. And these 2 shades, these 2 creams down here are extremely pigmented. I've been reaching for those quite a bit. If I'm not using this palette, I'll still reach into these shades for a liner. But yeah, I do like the versatility in this palette. So yeah, A+ with this formula as well. Why are my neighbor's dogs going crazy every time I film? Okay, if you hear dog barking, I'm so sorry. But I have a very small window when I can film when my kids are sleeping, which the dogs are probably going to wake them up. So let's just finish this up strong. Number two and number 1, it was very difficult to decide where to put them. But number 2, this is going to go to Artitude Cosmetics. This is the Abscission palette. Look at this packaging and this color story. It's a fall dream. It's the perfect fall palette. This says everything will fall into place, and I do think that that's such a lovely quote to have on your palette. I will say I wish this shade was more orange, but other than that, no complaints. This is the first palette that I have ever tried from the brand, and the mattes are lovely. They're super, super easy to work with, and the shimmers pack a punch. There's different textures in here. This one's more textured and flaky. The others are smooth. You have some like more traditional shimmers, high shine, and some multi-chromes in here. This shade, Abscission, it is magnificent. It's stunning. So I love this color story, and I'm so, so happy that they sent this to me because it's so beautiful. And just, I don't know, this palette, I just look at it and I feel inspired. Coming in at number 1, which is the palette that I have on my eyes today, this goes to Glaminatrix Cosmetics, the Rich Romantic palette. This one was sent over to me. Look at this color story. I do have I think almost every single palette except for maybe 1 I have videos on already on my channel, but this one right here has been my go-to palette. I have reached for this the most. My go-to look with this, I will go down with this trio right here, and I'll pop this red in the inner corner. That's my go-to look with this palette. But I love their formulation. I love the mattes. The shimmers are so sparkly. Some are shifty. I just really love this palette, and kind of along with the Abscission palette, it just inspires me. It's very wearable, but yet it packs a punch. Like today, like I'm very, I would say, colorful for me personally. But yeah, I just love that you could go super daytime, just effortless, ready to go out the door, or you could pack a punch, make it colorful, or even date night and smoky. I don't know, I think this is a perfect everyday palette with a twist. So I love this one so much, and at first I was like, is that a spring palette? And then the more I swatched it, I was like, okay, I could definitely see some fall tones in here, but this is a year-round palette for me. So those are all of the 9 palettes that I have been testing out this month. Let me know down below some palettes that you have been loving on. I always love to hear what you are reaching for, but for me, for sure, this Mirage palette really just stood out, like holy moly. And then I don't know, they're all there. I could just point out so many. I'm so happy to try this brand, and this Glaminatrix palette has my heart. And they're actually about to launch another palette, or I don't know, holiday something another. We'll find out soon, but I just cannot wait to see what they have cooking back there, you know. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.